just a video out there for anybody who has one of these circles. If you want to do, so this is a whole routine using this circle. Let's get going. So we're going to stand up nice and tall. We might necessarily use it for our warm-up, but we're going to use it anyway. So tummy nice and tightened in. We're going to move those shoulders. We're going to roll them up and down. So squeeze the shoulder blades together, drop them down the back. Lift and squeeze. Go a little bit wider. And then we're going to drop those shoulder blades down the back. We're going to get our circle. We're going to hold it out in front of us. Now, if you don't have a circle, just have your arms out in front of you. So that's fine. We're going to come up onto our toes and back down. So just use your circle as a little guide. Make sure your arms are in the right position. It's just holding us in the correct position with our shoulders as well. On the next one, we're going to add the lift with the arms. So you're going to come up onto your toes. We're going to reach those arms overhead and then gently back down. So it's exactly the same move as we might do in a class without the circle. But we're just going to use the circle just to get a little bit of manners on those shoulders and on those hands. Lift and lower. 2 more. Last one. And lower. Okay, we're going to hold the circle out in front of us. We're just going to do a nice little rotation from side to side. Again, focusing on that circle. So keep your eyes on it as you move your body round. Upper body moving round. Hips are staying forward as much as you can. And twisting, getting a nice little rotation through that spine. 3, 2, last one, and back to the center. Okay, we're going to bring that circle in towards the chest. Okay, well, let's do exactly the same. See what that feels like. Mightn't feel as much pressure on that back. Mightn't feel as much pressure on the tummy. Just get that spine moving, rotating. 3, 2, last one, and back to the center. Okay, let's do our little squat. Feet are still in the same position, 2 arms out in front of us. We're going to get our squat down, push your bum back as if you're going into a chair, and then bring yourself back up. So just hold those arms out in front of you, hold that circle out. If you don't have a circle, you're just holding your arms out. Make sure you stand up nice and tall at the top. So we're going down as if our bum is going into a chair, keeping our back nice and straight. Warming up those legs, warming up the hips for what's about to come. 3, 2, last one, and back up. Okay, let's lower it back down. Okay, let's stand at the back of our mat. We're going to roll down, and then we're going to end up on the mat. I'm just going to move my camera. Okay. So we don't need the circle for our roll down. We're just going to roll ourselves down towards our feet. Reach as far as you can. Make sure those knees are nice and soft. And then roll it back up. Nice and tall at the top. On the next one, hold it here. We're going to add a bit of movement. So let's get circle. Go from side to side. Back to the center. Roll it back up just to stretch out that back. Get it ready. So let's roll all the way down onto our tummy. We're going to get our circle out in front of us. We're going to bring it here in front of the face. So you're looking through it. Elbows are out to the side. You're just holding on to these pads at the sides. We've got our legs nice and relaxed. We've got our tummy held in. And we're just going to gently leave the arms down for the moment. Lift that chest up and drop it back down. So a nice long line in the back of the head, the back of the neck. As we lift and lower. Nice breath out as you lift here. In as you lower. We've got our little block of ice under our belly button, holding the belly button in slightly. Let's add the arms on the next one. So chest is going to go up first, then the arms and the circle, and then drop everything back down. So lift lift, and lower. If this is enough for you, stay at this level, or if you want to drop back down to the other level, that's fine. Whatever you need to do. And lift. 2 more here. Last one. So chest up first, then the circle in the arms, and drop everything back down. Okay, we'll take it up a level. We're going to increase the lever, okay? So arms are out in front of us. And we're going to lift the circle, lift the chest, and lift the arms at the same time. So engage the tummy, lift the circle, lift the chest, bring the circle in towards your chest, stretch it back out, and then lower back down. So lift, in, stretch out, and drop. Lift, in, stretch it back out, drop it back down, in. Keeping your chest up until your circle goes out in front of you, till it goes back here, and then drop your chest down. In, stretch out, and lower. Let's go 2 more. Last one. And lower. So the back should have been doing all the work there as you lift that upper body and the circle off the floor. Okay, let's stretch it out. Big stretch, hands forward, bum right back, and then we're going to go over onto our side. So we're going to start off with the legs. Okay, we're going to get this circle down at our feet. So this part of the pad is going to go down on the floor. Okay, we're going to place the bottom leg inside. We're going to stretch ourselves out and then get your top leg and place it on the top of the circle there. So we've got one leg inside, the other one on the top. With a nice straight body. Arm is up out in front of us, head resting on that arm. This hand can do whatever you want. Hand here if you need a bit of balance. We're going to squash on that circle and release. So squash, release. We've got our tummy engaged here. We're just pushing, working through this IT band here. And push. And push. Keep it under control. Last 2. Last 1. And release. Now we're going to take that top leg out. Place it inside. So now we've got our 2 legs inside that circle. But we need to keep the distance the same so that we have complete control over this circle, okay? So we're going to lift the 2 legs. Lift the circle off the floor. But you need to keep the distance between your 2 legs the same. So lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hips working hard here. Legs should be nice and straight. Tummy muscles engaged. Maybe another 2. Last 1. And lower. Okay. From here, we're going to take that. We're going to come up onto our elbow. Leave your feet in the circle. We're going to take the top leg out. Place it in front. And from here, you're going to lift that leg over and tap behind. Over, tap in front. So rainbow shape. Working right through that hip. Two more. Last one. and lower. Okay, should really get you in the hip, that one. Okay, we're going to take that circle up towards the upper body. Straighten yourself back out. Get that circle out in front of you. Make sure you've stretched your arm, but you haven't moved your shoulder. So you're not reaching like this, okay? Your shoulder is going to stay in the same place, and you're just stretching that arm out in front of you. Legs in a nice straight position here. We're going to hold the tummy muscles in. Top leg is going to come up to hip height. Bottom leg is going to come up to meet it. And then as you breathe out, we're going to give a little kick with the leg, forward and back. So our classic side kick position. Working through the hip, but working through that core as well, keeping us nice and balanced there. So we're pushing on the circle. Well, we need to push on it. So get a nice kick there. Kick doesn't have to be big, up to you. Last two. Last one. Bring the legs back together. Let's lower them back down. Hug the knees in. Give the hip a little rest there. Drop that circle. Because we're going to go into the next, we're going to go the same move again, except this time we're not going to try not to press on that circle. Try not to use it to help us, okay? We're going to get that hip doing all the work and the core doing the work to keep us balanced. So straighten out the legs again. Get that circle out in front of you in exactly the same position. Except this time we're not going to try and press on it as we kick, okay? We're going to try and keep it in the same position and just have our hand hovering here on the top of the pad there. So tummy tightened in, so engage the core. Top leg up to hip height, bottom leg up to meet it. Now we're going to add our kick. So we're going to glide that leg forward. We mightn't get as far forward because we're trying to keep everything under control. No, maybe a little bit slower. Try not to press on the circle there. That's it. Nice and controlled. Sorry, I'm pressing on the circle. Last two. Last one. Legs back together and lower. Hug the knees in. And we can drop that circle. Okay, let's flip over. We're going to do the other side. So circle down at the feet first. So place the pad on the floor. Get your bottom leg inside. Stretch yourself out and then get your top leg ready, okay? So you're going to place it on the top here, on the top of that circle. So we're in a nice straight line with the body here. Engage the tummy. We're going to push on that circle and release. Push, release. Push, release. Last two. Last one. And release. Okay, let's take that top leg out. Place it inside. Have a bit of tension there, holding that circle in place. We're going to lift the circle off the floor. Keep the legs in the same distance. So there's a bit of tension. Lift and lower. Just make sure you're not going too fast. You're keeping everything under control. We've got our abdominals held in. Two more of these. And lower. Okay, now we're going to take the top leg out. We're going to get ourselves up onto our elbow. So your bottom leg stays in the circle. You've brought yourself up on your shoulder. You're going to get your top leg out and place it in front of you. We're going to go up and over like a rainbow shape and tap behind, and then bring it forward and tap in front. Tap behind, tap in front. Last two. Last one. And lower. Okay, now take that circle out of your feet. Bring it in front of you. Get yourself in the correct position for your side kick. Okay, so it's a nice straight line with the body. We get that circle in front of us, not reaching through the shoulder, just straightening out that arm. Okay, so tummy engaged, top leg up to hip height, bottom leg up to meet it. And as you breathe out, you're pushing on the circle and kicking your leg forward at the same time. So you might get a big kick here. You might want to keep it small. Two more. Last one. Legs back together and lower them back down. Okay, you can drop that circle. Maybe give your hips a little rest there before we go into the bit more controlled side kick move where we're trying not to press on the circle, but we're still trying to get that controlled kick going on. Okay, so let's straighten ourselves out. Circle out in front of us. Stretch out the arm, but not the shoulder. Tummy tightened in. Top leg up to hip height. Bottom leg up to meet it. Now try and get that leg kicking forward, but not pressing on the circle. So breath out here. Lots of control. So these core muscles, the tummy, the back, the waist, all working really hard to keep you under control. Stop you from falling over. Plus that hip is working really hard, isn't it? You might want to get a small kick going on. Last two. Last one. And lower the legs. Okay, drop that circle. Hugging your knees. Okay, we're going to go onto the tummy. So, not onto the tummy. We're going to work our tummy. So, come up to seated. Bring your circle. So, sit yourself up nice and tall here. Circle is going out in front of us. Just use it as a bit of focus. We're not squeezing it. We're just going to use it as a focus, looking at it through, looking through the circle. Sit yourself up tall. We're going to tilt our pelvis. We're coming down about halfway and then back up. So this is our variation of our roll up, where we're working through the tummy muscles. So don't come too far back if you don't feel you can, okay? But if you want to come further back, then feel free. But we're not going all the way down to the floor. Sit back and up. Sit back and up. On the next one, we're going to add the circle reaching up to the ceiling. So you're going to sit back, reach up, bring it down, and then come forward. Sit back, up with the arms, nice and high if you can. We're keeping this under control. To keep it under control, we're just going a little bit slower. Make sure you're reaching nice and high up to the ceiling with the circle there. That's it, tummy muscles working hard now. Let's go two more. Last one. And back up. Okay, let's head down to the mat. We're going to place this circle between the knees. So come all the way down. Place it between your knees, okay? Make sure the 2 pads are on the knee joint there. If it's uncomfortable on your knee joint, then go higher rather than down towards your shins, okay? So you're between your thighs. So you can get your legs nice and wide if you feel that's a bit comfier. But we're going to place our head and shoulders down. We've got our back in a nice neutral position. Our arms are relaxed. Tummy's held in. We're going to squeeze that circle with the 2 legs and release. So squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. Back is staying in the same position. Make sure you don't go too fast here. Two more. Last one. And release it. Okay, keep the circle where it is. You're going to get your 2 hands here at the side of the head. We're going to lift the head and shoulders. We're going to push our lower back right into the floor. Sorry, my circle is falling out. And then drop it back down. So lift, push the back into the mat, and drop. If you're struggling with your neck, maybe you feel there's a little bit of strain on your neck there, make sure you look up towards the ceiling rather than looking towards your circle, okay? So although I've got my hands at the sides of the head, we're just supporting the head. We're not pulling it forward, not wrenching on the neck. Two more here. Last one. And lower. Okay, lower that head and shoulders back down. Place your arms back down by your sides. Let's squeeze that circle again. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. That's it, working those inner thighs. Sorry, my circle is coming out. Back is in a nice level position. Make sure you're not arching through that back. Last two. Last one. Release it. Hold the circle in position. Now we're going to lift our head and shoulders up. Hands are going to go here at the sides. We're going to heel taps from side to side. So just try and tap your heels. That's it. Working through the tummy. 3, 2, 1, and lower. Okay, keep the circle. We've got our last set of squeezing that circle. So back is level position. Squeeze the circle and release. Squeeze, release. You're not arching through that back. We just got in a nice neutral position. Maybe a little bit of tightness in the tummy. Squeeze that circle like your life depends on it. Work through those inner thighs. Last two. Last one. And release. Okay, let's take that circle out. Give our legs a little shake there. Shake it out. Okay, from here, bend up the legs, feet are flat on the floor. 2 arms are going to go straight up towards the ceiling. So we're holding this circle in with the 2 pads here. Arms up in front of us. So when we look up through the circle, we're looking up towards the ceiling. Back is in a neutral position, so we're not arching, we're not pushing that back into the floor. We've got our tummy just scooped in a little bit, 50, 60%, okay? So from here, let's squeeze that circle. We're keeping our arms nice and straight. So we're just going to make sure that we're doing the correct position with the arms first before we move into the legs. So arms locked in at the elbows so that you get much more strength going on, because if you bend your elbows, you're going to be working through your hands, okay? But we keep those arms straight. We're working through the shoulders and through those arms, through the shoulder blades as well. 3, 2, 1, and hold that circle where it is. Comes up to tabletop. We've got a nice neutral position with our back. So we're going to imagine we have a grape under the back, and as we lift the second leg, we're going to squash that grape. So now we've got our back pushed onto the floor. We're going to squeeze the circle, and at the same time, we're doing our one leg stretch. So stretch your leg out towards the skirting board in front of you, and then bring it back in as you release the circle. So squeeze and release. Squeeze and stretch. Now if you need to, go up higher with the leg, maybe towards the wall. But if you find your back is okay, maybe it's not arching too much, we can stretch that leg all the way down to the skirting board. Nice and the lower you get your leg, the harder it's going to be. There's a lot of tension in the body as we squeeze that circle. Last one each side. And lower the legs back down one at a time. Drop that circle. Let's give ourselves a big stretch out. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. Okay. Next move. We've got the circle back out in front of us. We've got our feet back flat on the floor. This time, we're going to squeeze the circle as we go over the head. So you're just bending your elbows and then stretching that circle back up. So if you want to have a go without squeezing anything first, you've got your circle coming up over your head like a halo and then stretching the arms back up. So it's literally just your elbows that are moving here. Okay, back is level with the floor. We're going to squeeze as we go over the head, release as we come back up. Squeeze here, release. And one more, just make sure we're okay. And back up. Okay, let's add the legs. One leg comes up to tabletop. Squash the grape as you lift your second leg. This time we're doing scissors. So we're going to keep our knees at the same angle here and tap a toe down and back up. Same on the other side, tap a toe down and back up. So to add the circle, we tap a toe down, create that halo over the head, stretch the arms back up. So squeeze, and your circle goes over the head. Working those pec muscles now. Actually push those out. So do count down 5. Now just just below the top one. You need to go a little bit further out towards the lower back. Just to make those muscles a little bit better. In a better position. Squeeze as you go forward. 3, 2, last one. And then back down. Let's drop that circle. Give ourselves a big stretch out again. Arms up over the head, stretch out your legs. Okay, let's hug in the knees. Do a little rock from side to side. So obviously there's probably more you can do with the circle. That'll give you enough to get on with anyway. So feet flat on the floor. I'm going to do a little cool down. So feet are together, knees are together, arms are going to go out to the sides. I'm going to drop my knees one way, head goes the other direction, just to give myself a stretch out. These pec muscles here, they need a good stretch. Back up to the centre, over to the other side. And back up to the centre. Cross one ankle over the knee, just to get a little stretch in the hips. Reach through, get that foot off the floor. Bring that hip in, or bring the leg in towards you. And release it. Same on the other side. Ankle over the knee. Reach through the gap, get that foot off the floor. Good one for stretching through the hips, this one. And release. Roll over onto your hands and knees. Push the back up towards the ceiling. Release it. Head goes up, bum sticks out. Back to neutral. Sit back on those heels. Big stretch through the back. Make sure you stretch through your shoulders as well. We can always do this kind of move where we stretch through one way, stretch through the other way, and back up. So, hope you like working with the circle. There's probably more on YouTube if you want to have a look. But hopefully that's enough to keep you going over the summer.